Hey, Dave from Escape Creative here, and I want to show you one of our newest integrations for Design Upgrade, both the free and the pro version. We've done some work here, and we've partnered with WisdmLabs to integrate with their ratings, reviews, and feedback plugin for LearnDash. So both the free version and the pro version of Design Upgrade for LearnDash will add some new design to the ratings, reviews, and feedback, and I'll explain the difference between the two. But before I do that, let me show you what the ratings, reviews, and feedbacks plugin looks like by default when you install it from WisdmLabs. So here I am on a course page, and you'll notice that we've got a star rating up here with how many ratings have been submitted. That shows up right beneath the course title. Then if we scroll further down on the page at the bottom, below our course content, we'll have an entire ratings and reviews section. Now this is what the design looks like out of the box when you purchase this plugin and install it from WisdmLabs. And you'll just notice a little bit of inconsistencies here. The stars are a yellow color, whereas these bars are orange. There's some maroon text here. There's some blue text here. All these colors might not match up with the branding that you have on your website or your current theme. Also, some of the font sizes down in this area here are a little small. Things are a little cramped. And some of the spacing here for the helpful thumbs up is a little off as well. So I've gone ahead with the free version and we've made some styling upgrades, which I will jump over to and show you what those look like now. So now we're looking at that same course page, but this time we have the free version of Design Upgrade for LearnDash installed. And what this does is just kind of cleans up and upgrades some of these styles for the ratings, reviews, and feedback plugin. So you'll notice that our star styling here is a little bit different. This is a little bit smaller for the number of reviews, and this is just more of a flat. I got rid of some of those shadows kind of design here for these stars. And then if we scroll down to the ratings and reviews section at the bottom, again, everything just looks a little bit more consistent. Some of those red and blue colors for your text, those are gone. Everything is kind of a neutral dark gray or a little bit lighter gray in some areas. I've made the stars and then these rating bars here all the same color. So everything just looks a little bit clean and nicer. I've also turned this edit your review into a text link instead of a button, just because I didn't think it needed quite as much prominence and I wanted the ratings and the stars to stand out a little bit more than a giant button here in this spot. I've also added a light gray background to the filter and sorting area. So you'll see here sort by and filter by. So I've done a little bit of work there. I've also bumped over this posted 9 minutes ago, the date that each of these reviews were posted. I've moved that all the way over to the right just to kind of space things out a little bit more and make them easier to read. I've also increased the font size throughout all of these reviews. I've made the review title here a little bit larger than the actual text itself. And then I've lined things up here to the very left, so if you have these helpful links here, then they'll line up with your content. So that's most of what I've done for the free version of the plugin. There are a few other upgrades that I've made here with the modal window. In terms of all of the buttons, they will all be very consistent now and take on the same basic style that all the rest of the buttons throughout the LearnDash interface have. So I've made everything consistent there, as well as the rounded corners here on all of these modals. That will be consistent with the rest of your LearnDash elements. So that's everything for the free version. So there are no specific options if you're using the free version. You'll just get this improved design. But if you upgrade to Design Upgrade Pro for LearnDash, there are a handful of additional customization options, which I will jump over and show you now. So here we are on that same course page, and this time we have Design Upgrade Pro for LearnDash installed. So there's a few more options, and we're also pulling in some options from other areas in the customizer. So let me explain how everything works now. So first off, under General Design, the global border radius, as well as the link colors here, get used in a few different spots for the Ratings and Reviews plugin. So you'll notice this Edit Your Review link right here is using the link color and the link hover color that we've already set in our General Design. And then this sort and filter area has a 20 pixel border radius because that's what we've set for the global border radius. You'll also notice that if we open up any of the modal windows that are used by the Ratings, Reviews, and Feedback plugin, all of the corners of the modals will also use this global border radius that we've set here. The next thing, which we can see right here in this modal, is all of the buttons. So all of your button border radius, you'll notice I've set it to 0. So these buttons, instead of being rounded, now have the square edges. So they are rectangular and they do not have a border radius. So all of the buttons that are used throughout this entire plugin will use these button settings here. Now these are both considered primary buttons, so they're using the blue with the pink on hover, but there are one or two buttons that are considered kind of standard buttons, and those will use your standard button color here that is more of a gray color. So those are some of the general design options. But now, if we want to look at the specific options for our ratings, reviews, and feedbacks plugin, you'll notice if you have this plugin installed from WisdmLabs, then you will have an extra section in your design upgrade area, and that is just specifically for your ratings, reviews, and feedback here. So there's a couple of options here. The first of which is going to change our rating bar style, which is right here in the middle, these bars for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. By default, they'll use just this flat color here with the bars highlighted in the same yellow color. Now, one thing to note is that the rounded corners of these bars are controlled by the same thing here in your progress bar with this border radius. So if I were to change this border radius to 0, then these bars here will change as well. So I wanted to keep things consistent, so whatever you're using for the progress bar will also be used for these bars here. So that's how you change the radius of these ratings and review bars here. Now if I head back over, one of the other things I want to show you is the style. So like I said, these are flat, but what we can do is change it to an Amazon inspired bar style, which will, if you notice, this is very similar to how Amazon.com does their ratings and reviews. And so we can change it to this style, which makes them a little bit larger and creates some nice shadow effects here. One of the other big features specific to this plugin is the empty stars and the filled stars. So you'll notice here that the empty stars have this darker gray, and then the filled stars we haven't put a color in yet, so it's using the default yellow. So what we can do is for the empty stars, let's say we wanted to make that gray a little bit darker, we can do that. Now you'll notice here they're darker gray. And then for our filled stars, let's say we wanted to use a green color, we can do that as well. So everywhere that stars appear throughout this ratings and reviews plugin, then all of those stars will be filled in with green and have a darker gray outline. You'll notice that the color here for the bars changes as well. That will always use the same color as your filled star color. The other two options are for hiding a couple of different things. So we can hide this sort and filter bar. If you don't want people to be able to sort and filter, then we can just check this box and that will completely remove the sorting and filtering. And then we also have the whether or not it's helpful, so people can vote and just click on this icon and that will signify that however many people found the review helpful. If you don't want that feature, the WisdmLabs team did not provide a way for you to turn that off, but our plugin does allow you to disable that. And so we just check this box here to hide the helpful ratings, and then those will disappear as well. So this gives you a really, really nice, clean design for displaying your ratings and reviews. Oh, and there's one thing I almost forgot. We are pulling a couple of settings from the focus mode area. So these couple of options here for this plugin are not listed here in the ratings, reviews, and feedback, but you can access them in the focus mode panel. So we're going to go back one screen and we'll come over here to focus mode. Now, if you're already using comments in focus mode, then you may have these settings set already. And if you do, you'll notice that they apply to the reviews as well. So comments and reviews, we're treating them with similar styles. So the background color and the avatar shape here for the comments are the two things that will also apply to your reviews. So let's say we set this background color to a very light blue color. You'll notice that that automatically changes that here. It's also pulling in the global border radius for these corners, which is nice. And then the avatar shape, by default, they will be circles, but if we wanted to, we could do square, or we can inherit the global border radius that we've set under our general design settings. Let's just go ahead and make it square so I could show you what that looks like. And now our avatars are completely square. So those are the other two really neat features that pull in from the focus mode comments, but also apply here to your reviews. So I hope you guys like all these new features in this new integration with the ratings, reviews, and feedback plugin. Keep in mind you do have to purchase that plugin from WisdmLabs separately, but if you do have it installed and you are using it, and you also are using Design Upgrade Pro, then all of these features will be available in the customizer. Thanks for watching.